This is a movie about the winter solstice. Up north, solstice is a really big deal. I know that technically the 21st of December is the official start of winter, but for us, that's when winter starts to end. It's the end. We know we've been in winter for 3 months now, and it's the end of the longer and longer nights and shorter days. If you lay on your back in the summer, the sun kind of spins around in the sky. But in winter, it just pops its head up above the horizon and then runs over and hides behind the nearest mountain a few hours later. It looks kind of like this in winter. Comes up, rises a little, and goes back down. But on solstice, it gets as low as it's going to get in the horizon. During the course of the year, I have captured various images off of various webcams around here. This is in August, and you can see the sun. This is looking south. The sun is setting behind us up in the north. You see the shadows from those trees. If you look on the northwest view on that same day, you see the sun going down at a pretty steep angle far off in the northwest. A few hours later, of course, it'll come up in the northeast. And this is a high-speed version of that same image, showing the sun going down in the northwest. If you look in the same camera in winter, this is what you're going to see. The sun popping up about 9 in the morning and a little after 3 in the afternoon, going right back down behind the mountains in a low arc on the southern horizon from southeast to southwest. It's really quite a sight to see. For many thousands of years, people have known that on this day, the nights will no longer be so long. Each day after this, the sun's going to rise a little bit higher in the sky, and during the autumn, the sun it moves along the horizon, the point where it rises and sets. During the autumn, it's going to set a little further south each day. So September 11 to September 18 is right there. You can see how quickly it moves, and by December, it's completely out of the picture. So if we look off to the northwest on the northwest webcams in September, you'll see the sun come in, set about in the middle of this camera that's aimed there at the northwest. So by November, I don't have the best picture of it here in November, but you'll be able to see that it's off to the south quite a bit. And by December, solstice, the sun is setting way south of northwest, such that it's just a glow off on the far left-hand side there, off on the horizon. If you look at the webcams aimed to the west, you'll see in September it's still setting far to the north. There's a bug landed. And by September, a week later, it's dropped enough to where you'll see it cross through the screen. As it moves south along the horizon as we go through the fall. It moves pretty rapidly too, and quite a span from north to south. And on solstice, the west cam just gets a little bit of glow from the sunset. If you look at the southwest cams, you see that in September, it just cuts the corner of the picture there. In November, it's cutting right through the middle of the southwest cam. And this is late November, November 23rd. So only 3 more weeks after this, 3.5 weeks, and we hit solstice. So it's not going to move a whole lot further south. These pictures are from early in December, a week later than the ones you just saw. And then next up will come the solstice pictures on the southwest cam. There you go. Sunrise. That's another beautiful time of the year. This is looking southeast. A little after 8 in the morning it starts to get light. A little before 8 in the morning, I should say. A little before 8 in the morning it starts to get light. And right about 9 o'clock the sun pops up over the hill. If you look off to the southwest, this is where the sun will set 6 hours later, but the sunrise is just a glow. In the west, it's dark later on in the day, and it's nice the sun comes up and hits the southwest side of those mountains. And then if you look to the north toward the glacier, you see the angle of the sun coming in. Pretty cool on the webcams. There you go. Solstice, by the way, is derived from the Latin phrase SOL-STITS, meaning sun stands still. And that's because it pauses during its endless march back and forth across the sky. Hope you enjoyed the show.